Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, June the 7th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Keep your plan simple with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. Walmal, yesterday we were talking about following your plan, and I asked a couple of I asked the traders to post if they had a plan, and I think we had a few responses, and one of them was they wanted to, I guess, actually get a plan. So I was thinking we need to talk about keeping it simple. I don't think we've talked about that as a topic in about a year.
Probably, but yeah, I'm going to go in, I'm going to sidetrack you right off the start, but we'll go right back to it real quick. And, this whole idea of keeping it simple is just that. If you keep things simple, it's much easier to react to it. It's much easier to follow it and to do it. But the thing is, you need something in place in order to keep it simple. And that's the whole thing what we were talking about yesterday with a trading plan. If you have a trading plan, you can keep things simple, because you already know what you're supposed to do. Period. Your trading plan says to do X, you do X. If your trading plan says to do Y, you do Y. You don't rethink your trading plan while you're in the middle of a trade. You don't rethink your trading plan before you take a trade. No, that's supposed to be done. I'll go and say, hours, days, weeks, years, even before. That's when all that hard stuff gets done. But while you're, about to go, when you're sitting there, I like to say that you have two desks. You have a trading desk, and then you have an analysis desk, and they need to be separate from each other. And that's part of keeping it simple. Do the right core things.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Well, that's one of the things I always ask traders if their exit screen is the same as their entry screen.
Yeah, I remember you asking me that question, and my answer is yes, it's the same. I just, well, you've seen my screens, and I've shared my screens, a couple of times in the forums. Maybe I'll do that again just to show it, because there's been a couple of changes to it. But my screens is 99%, white space, and it's just, that's all you see is white space, and you see candles, and you see a couple little indicators, and the whole idea of keeping it simple, and that's the whole thing, because I want to go react to what price is doing, and that's it. I don't need to go and have, as you like to call it, and I know you're not the only one that calls it this, but I don't want charts on drugs, where there's so many indicators on it, you can't even see the candles. Because here's the reality, boys, girls, and as you say, non-binary folks out there, the reality is the only thing that matters is one thing: price. And what price is doing, and every indicator is lagging. There's only one indicator that's not lagging, and that's the actual candle or the actual, price bar or whatever, however you have your chart set up. That's the only thing that's not lagging. And so that's why it's so important for me. And I think that really goes and jumps into this whole idea of keeping it simple. Keep your trading plan simple. Keep your screen simple. Keep your life simple. Keep everything simple.
Yeah. Well, I guess I could get into a little debate on you about the lagging, because, like, for example, the range gauge always tells you what the range is. There's no lag there. But, I think
That's correct.
you're referring to those squiggly line indicators that I like to tease traders about from time to time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The range is, but at the same time, that's, to me, that's not even an indicator as much as that's just a gauge, because I can see that right from the candles as well. It's not, I'm not doing any fancy arithmetic and, and convolutions and things that are dependent, on each this, that, and everything else. That's really nothing more than a gauge. So I don't know if I consider that to be an indicator. It is an indicator as far as MT4 is concerned, that's for sure. But that's I guess we're quibbling, as some would say, dots and tittles.
Yeah. Okay. So back to keeping the plan simple. Let's take that. your analysis chart and your trading charts, or desk. So let's focus on the trading desk.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, on my chart, I'll just tell you right now, I got your high-low box indicator on it. I've got the Walmal lines on it, and I've got I got the range for the hour on it, and that's it. That's the only thing I got on the chart, because that's all I need. I don't need anything else. And why are the Walmart lines there? Well, because, I like to go and take Walmart trades, from time to time. It's a good, solid trade. That's one thing. The second reason I got it is because I believe that, we as humans are structured creatures. We like to have structure around things. I know a lot of people, they have no problem with literally going in and taking trades with, just complete white space and no lines across the screen at all. On the other hand, I like to go and have those lines there because it tells me, I can see, like right now, I'm looking at a 5-minute chart, okay? And I can just, by looking at that chart, I can go and see, without doing any calculations whatsoever, that we've moved probably about 25 to 30 pips. I don't know exactly, but I know it's less than 30. I know it's more than 25. Without even looking at your range indicator or anything else, I can just see that immediately because that structure is just built there. And I think that the way our minds are built, it's just that we like to go and have any type of structure. Think about humans. What do we do? Right from the beginning, what was the first thing that we did as humans? We went out there and we named all the creatures, and we figured out which creatures were good to eat, which ones weren't. We figured out, what type of plants we could eat, which type of plants we couldn't eat. We named them, we classified them. Just think about the way we do things scientifically. Everything is done from the point of view of trying to go and build structure around it. Because once you have structure built around it, then you can go and keep hold of that knowledge and continue to go and build that knowledge. Well, if that's true in the scientific world, I think that that's a good indication of how our brain works. And so why not go and bring that into our trading world and put some structure there? So that's the type of things what I mean by keep things simple. Put things up there that make sense, that you know what it's there for. You're able to go and hold on to it. Price is high right now. Price is low right now. There's no question about it. You can see how far price has moved, how quickly it's moved. It just makes things much simpler to go and see.
Right. And we've almost covered that previous H1 because I'm looking here, the previous H1 candle, because we punctured the low and we're about 8 pips off of the high there.
Yeah, there's a good chance we're going to have an H1 outside bar this hour, and that's a trade that's usually pretty good to go and take if you can take it.
So,
but,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. I was just going to say, again, simple methods, having a simple chart, not very much on it, and, I know that you like to go and trade, inside bars and to a certain extent outside bars, and why? Because it's just very, very simple to see. Price is either going up or it's going down. Okay, price is not going to stay stagnant, because if it stays stagnant, well, basically that means there's no market. Everybody agrees that price is supposed to be there, and then there's no point to even having a market anymore. You'll just go and exchange, this for that, and that's it. But the reality is that, you and I and every other trader out there has a different idea what's a fair price for something. Well, how do we go and mark that? Well, again, putting lines on the chart and doing nothing more than watching it and seeing how it goes and reacts. That's why inside bars work so well, because what has happened is that a bar got put in place, okay, and then a new bar got put in place, and there's indecision there. People don't know if it's worth more or less than what that previous bar said. So now we can go and say, aha, okay, here's a point. I can draw a line on a chart. If it goes above this, then more people are saying that it's worth it, and then not. And so I can go and take that trade and go with the masses, as they say.
Right.
Again,
I was just going to say, and one thing about keeping your plan simple is if you're starting out or if you're struggling to be profitable, only have one method. Only trade one, whether it's a Walmal line, a sweet spot line, the daily open line, inside bar high low, previous H1 high low. Just pick one, and not have a bunch, because that way you don't get confused and you can just see if what you're doing is profitable so long as you're doing it according to plan.
Right, you're exactly right, sir. And the one thing the one beef I have with you is you got so many sticking indicators out there because of things that you saw, and there's nothing bad about that. But the one bad thing about it is that somebody who's new to the game, so to speak. Oh, look at all these indicators out there. Look at all the different ways I can do this, and then they think they have to go and memorize each and every single one of these and try each one of them out. And no. Pick one that you look at that makes sense to you, that you fully understand, and then just go and do it and practice it. Practice, and that's just how you go ahead, and you can become profitable at that point.
Yeah, well, like this Walmal trade from the 90 is worth over 20 pips this hour. I mean, you had one that you could have picked up about 3 or 4, came back down, gave you a second and a third opportunity to be long at 90.
Yep. Yeah, it could have been a really nice out for a Walmart trade, that's for sure. And the thing is, the one that's going on right now, the reality is that there would have been no reason to get out because you had strong bull candles all the way along. It wasn't like you do have that one doji in the previous M5 candle, but even that one, it's sort of like when it closed, it recovered everything that had gone down. So, that would have been one that say, okay, I'm going to take half my money off the table at that point, leave the other half on and see what it does. But, by doing that, though, that from that first trade, or the first half of that trade, you would have gotten out with like 17, 18 pips, and now you could have been up, another 3 or 4 or something like that.
Well,
so that could have been.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, if you keeping it really simple, you had higher lows and higher highs every 5-minute bar.
Yep, exactly. Again, another very simple way of doing things. It's you're not sitting there trying to go and recalculate the world. I know a lot of traders also, what they'll do is they'll put mid dots on there, and when price gets below the mid dot, they go and pop out. It's not a bad way. Again, very simple thing to do. No thinking involved. Price is there, boom. Well, what you can do is with mid dots is that as soon as the candle closes, move your stop loss to wherever that mid dot is. That way you don't even have to do anything. Just let the machine do it for you. Again, very, very simple.
Right. Well, and the other thing is, it's like I'm just looking at it. It seems like there was a wick zone trade. If you look left, we just dropped below that open there, that 2-ball candle, but now we're going back up. And this is one of those ones where you can get mad at yourself, and we were just joking about that before we started the video. It's like, oh, I left those pips on the table. It's like, well, those pips weren't on the table when you exited.
Exactly right.
It's kind of like if you were eating lunch and you took all the shrimp off the plate. You got up from the table and left, and you turn around, and here comes the waiter with a fresh, plate of shrimp. It's like, well, you know what? You gave up your spot. Somebody else is sitting there.
It's gone.
Yeah,
Exactly
and you know
right.
what else is gone? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is gone. Walmal, I think we're having way too much fun when we make these videos. So, fellow traders, when you learn to juggle, you start with juggling one ball. So when you learn to trade, just start with trading one method, especially if you're having problems, you're struggling to make a profit or keep a profit. Because remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.